I'm going to share my screen. Oh, where'd it go? Oops, I'm at the very, hold on. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. I practiced this, I promise. Okay, so today, Jenny Laurie just kind of asked me to talk about creating momentum in your business. Can you guys see all this? Why can I not see you guys? Because I'm in presentation mode. I'm going to be able to.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, so all I can see is my presentation. Is that normal? Like, I can't see what anybody else is doing. Is
I can't see yours. I see everybody's face. Let me see. Did you click share screen?
Yes. I practiced this earlier.
No, I know. Things go funny sometimes.
Let's try this.
There we go. Okay, yep. Now we see it.
Okay. And if I hit present, is it going to take it away?
Try it. Yep, that makes it look pretty.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself now.
Okay. So just creating momentum in the business. Specifically for me, it was kind of picking back up after you had kind of hit a rough spot or a lull. But it also applies to just brand new coaches creating momentum in the business. So a little bit about me. I started as a challenger with Pio. I just needed some health and fitness in my life. I couldn't necessarily make it to the gym, and I saw Jenny Laurie's post, and it just made sense with my life. So I fell in love with the groups. I wanted to help others, and I wanted a way to earn an income and be more present with my kids. So I started as a coach, and I had a little bit of a hard time getting into the business, some hesitation about posting and sharing my life and my journey and that kind of stuff. And I've just really, particularly definitely the first year, and been in it for 2 years now, looking for shortcuts and the easy way and just kind of praying that things would fall in my lap. I've always kind of struggled with setting goals and those being monetary or material possessions related, just feeling like that was a sin. So I've really wrestled with that going back and forth. So processing through old emotions and letting go of old habits and working on things that no longer serve me. I struggle with emotional eating. And I just really felt like I needed to take a step back and focus on myself, which I don't recommend doing, by the way. But taking a step back. You can still work on yourself and share that journey and share with your challenger kind of where you struggle and letting them know like you don't have all this figured out. Because whenever you kind of hide your real life from your challenge group life, people they can't relate. So they think that you're living this perfect life and you're not. So really sharing that and working through that is more beneficial than just kind of backing off. But I spent some time focusing on my journey. I had some personal things going on in my life early this year, and just it kind of triggered some old things that I thought I dealt with that I hadn't. So, and I also was struggling with showing how this lifestyle works. So, like I said, just really focusing on sharing those things and those less than perfect things in your life, people will definitely relate to that. And I let fear and indecision and procrastination kind of stand in my way. And that just led to inaction. I wasn't acting on this business opportunity. I wasn't sharing what it had to offer. So when I kind of came to this realization that I wasn't putting God first in my life and I wasn't seeking a relationship with Christ, and that as soon as I sought that all of the other things would fall into place, things have kind of started clicking much better. So I wanted to share this Bible verse with you, and now let's put it up. Submit to God and you will have peace and things will go well for you. Listen to his instructions and store them in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you will be restored. So clean up your life. If you give up your lust for money and throw your precious gold into the river, the Almighty himself will be your treasure. He will be your precious silver. Then you will take delight in the Almighty and look up to God. You will pray to him and he will hear you, and you will fulfill your vows to him. You will succeed in whatever you choose to do, and light will shine on the road ahead of you. If people are in trouble and you say, help them, God will save them. Even sinners will be rescued. They will be rescued because your hands are pure. That particular Bible verse I read a lot, but I found that one today, and it really seemed to fit into kind of the steps that I'm going to take you through. So the first one is ask. So go to God in prayer, and I usually do this every morning. I had to kind of set up. It's a task on my phone. I have a task list. It's a checklist, and that's one of them is pray. And so every morning before I start my devotions, I go to God in prayer and just kind of take the things that are on my mind and on my heart. And first, I just surrender to his will. And if you guys are chatting, I can't check that right now, but don't know how to not mess it up. But just surrender to his will for your life. Just lay it all before him and just say, you know what, whatever you have for me today, just use me. And that, and then pray for a servant's heart, however you can help people. And that's just life in general, but business specific, I have a spot. So I pray for my challengers. I pray for my fellow coaches, my downline, and coaches that I've really built relationships with. I pray for them daily. I've got a list of people who are sick that I pray for. And then at the end, I ask for him to bring people in my life who need this opportunity, whether it be challenger or coach. And I ask for him to prepare their heart and mind to receive my message. So sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes people pop up in my newsfeed and I message them and they're going through a rough time. Sometimes I hear somebody talking about wanting Shakeology or wanting this, and I sold a challenge pack to a lady that I met at coffee one morning, and that afternoon I had sold her a challenge pack. That's not normal, but that had never happened to me before. But I had prayed that morning, God, please just bring people into my life. And he did. And we receive what we ask for. So just ask for ways that you can show God's love to the people around you. And it's not just when those opportunities present themselves. I told somebody this last week. It's not like God parts the clouds and yells at you, hey, yo, you need to help so-and-so today, and this is what you're supposed to do. It's usually subtle opportunities and nudges where you're in the grocery store and you see that a mom is struggling to juggle her kids. And maybe you can put the basket up for her. You see ways that you can help somebody pull something off the shelf. You see somebody at school when you're doing pickup that, just look for those subtle opportunities to help people and to love them and to care for them, and just recognize those opportunities and don't let the opportunity pass you. Take action and do those. And that's most important because that's what we're called to do. And the power of positive thinking. I used to always joke and say, well, I'm not really a negative person. I'm just a realist. And I call it like it is. And if you don't like it, sorry about you. Nobody wants to be around that. And that's a really bad place to be in your own mind. I felt like I was in prison. In my own mind, I felt like I was just chained by this negative way of thinking. And I wanted so badly to think positively, and I still struggle with that. But it's taken a lot to get where I am. And, like I said, it's still a journey, but your perspective is huge. You can look at things in a negative light. You can find the bad in everything, or you can choose to see the positive and count your blessings. I've started writing down my journal and writing down my blessings. And a journal Susan actually sent me, and it's like the top 3 blessings. You write those down. And some days it's the rain. Sometimes it's sunshine. Sometimes it's thank you for not letting me yell at somebody today. I mean, sometimes it's really simple things. I'm thankful for food. Thank you for the opportunity that we live where we live and we have access to healthy food, that we can work. I mean, it's a variety of things, and it's all about your perspective and what you see as a blessing. And just taking time to be thankful. And one of the books that I read recently, it's great to be thankful in your mind that there's a shift that happens when you write something down or you say it to somebody. There's actually a psychological shift that happens that processes from one side of your brain to the other. So counting your blessings in writing and or just saying it to other people or saying it out loud makes a difference. And, just as you go throughout the day, just recognizing the beauty that is life makes such a huge difference because it's easy to get bogged down in the negativity, because there's plenty of it if you go looking for it. And just whenever I think that maybe this market is saturated, and like I was telling some of our coach friends the other day, like it's 2017, you would think that people have this clean eating business figured out. They should know like that healthy eating and exercise is important and that you shouldn't eat that crap, but they don't. And they just don't know. So there are plenty of people out there who need us. And so if you get stuck in that poverty mindset of, this market, there's just nobody out there that needs me, I just don't know who I can help, that's a limiting belief. And that is a lie straight from Satan, because there are plenty of people who need us and what we have to offer. So if you just put that out into the universe and tell it to God and, just live your life with eyes open, you're going to see those opportunities more. So, and then the second one is seek. So seek relationships. By building relationships online through Facebook, people that you have known for a really long time, reaching out to them, new people, and just genuinely being interested in their life. And something simple I do is send happy birthday messages and just ask them, what are your plans for the day? Did you get to celebrate? Make sure to take time for you. You can set up those notifications to where they'll send you a notification about who has birthdays today. And then also commenting on their posts regularly, because in order for them to see your stuff, you have to be commenting and messaging them, and they will see your stuff. And also sharing your life. It's something that I really, really struggle with is just posting consistently and sharing about my journey and my life and the good and the bad, and adding value, useful content to their life so that they come to you and they know that they can expect, funny stuff or, whatever it is, whatever your target market is and whatever you figured out are your pillars and all of that. Not really going to go too much into that, but just posting consistently and making sure that if you do post struggles or things that you're frustrated about, that you put a positive spin on it, something you learned or something you realized. It can even be like, I had a really crappy day, but you know what? Like, here was one positive thing. Here's a blessing in my life. I'm thankful that I'm able to recognize the positives in life, whatever. And something that I've really gotten into recently, I don't even know how I joined, but it was a Burleson Moms group, not very active, but it's gotten active recently. And that was the coffee that I went to, was they started putting up events. So local moms, we just meet for coffee, and kind of started friend requesting them on Facebook and just kind of talking to them about my journey, not necessarily like vomiting Beachbody on them, but just how like living a healthy lifestyle has helped me. And meeting those people face to face, it doesn't take away from the relationship building that is required, but it does cut down on the time that is required from, if you're just friend requesting a friend of a friend of a friend, it's going to take a really long time to establish that relationship and to build that trust that you are there as a friend first, that you are interested in their life, that you're interested in adding value to their life, and that you care about them whether or not you ever make a sale, that they're not just a number and a profit to you, and that you will care about them after you make the sale, and that you are their friend first. It kind of cuts down a little bit on that time frame, but it's still definitely very important and necessary to cultivate those relationships. And Jenny Laurie's been telling me for a really long time that I need to get out and meet people face to face, and I was struggling with a way to do that. So this is the way. And I recently started just a Strong Mom Boot Camp. It's a private Facebook group. It's very similar to a free group, but it's an ongoing thing. And I just tried to add value and a little bit of education about food and healthy eating. I haven't really gotten into like posting my workouts. And there was a National Wake Up Call recently about that. But I haven't really gotten into posting my workouts or really talking about Shakeology yet. but most of them I'm friends with on Facebook, so they see that side of it and they do comment on my stuff. But I'm just trying to provide a resource, and then like I was thinking in this week or the next that I will start adding that in and kind of treating it more like a challenge group and just sharing kind of how I live this healthy lifestyle. But so being an introvert, I know it's hard to get out face to face, but that is absolutely necessarily. And it's not even like going up to somebody, it could be if that's what you're comfortable with, but going up to somebody who's a complete stranger at a supermarket, it's a whole lot easier if you have a common interest in something that you can talk about and you're there for a common purpose, like that coffee that I go to every week. We meet once a week at the park, the Strong Moms Boot Camp. We meet once a week at the park and do yoga. And I just use Beachbody On Demand and my iPad. I had them sign releases and waivers. I explained to them basically what the waiver that you go through every time you do a workout. I just, like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trained professional. I'm not a trainer. I'm just a mom who's interested in getting healthy. And I want to help people be active and grow friendships. So I put that out there, and most of them are completely understanding and are interested in understanding, only push to their limit. But so if you can kind of tap into that resource, I would really strongly recommend finding something like that. People have said free groups for a really long time, or not free groups, but groups on Facebook, and I didn't really know how to tap into that. But if you can find one and really tap in and make it worthwhile, it's definitely a great resource. And you have to step out of your comfort zone whenever you're doing all of this stuff. So being a product of the product, I just finished Insanity Max 30, and that was like the pillar. Well, that was one of the top workout programs. I was like, there is no way I can do this, like, because I have 5 bulging discs, I have sciatic nerve pain, I don't want to jack up my back and be laid up in bed for 2 weeks, and there's no way I can do this. So I was just like, you know what? No, I finally got to a point. I didn't start off doing that. 2 years later, I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And I did it. I didn't do it at 100%, but I gave it my best, and it really pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And I tried to share that, and I shared that with people in my personal life, face to face, and in messages and stuff as well. Personal development is huge. If you're not doing personal development regularly, you are selling yourself short. The change that has happened physically is substantial, but the biggest change is mental and emotional, and the mental health that has come as a result of the personal development. So I do a combination of Bible reading and devotionals, and then personal development books. And I've got some slides that kind of will give you some ideas of what has been helpful for me. And a success partner is vital in your success in this business. Susan and I have been success partners for about a year now, and Jenny Laurie was always wonderful and great. I felt like I was kind of bugging her and just like asking the same questions over and over again. And so having that second person who's there for you and maybe available. And we have a group of coaches that Rachel, Carrie, Jenny Laurie, Susan, and I, we did Team Cup a couple of years ago together, and we kind of stayed close together. So if you can find a close-knit group of people, or one person who's going to push you, who's going to kind of tell you where you're falling short, make suggestions. I kind of got tired of sitting on the sidelines and seeing all these coaches around me hit Diamond and hit Success Club every month. And, I knew that the business worked, because if it didn't work, these people wouldn't be having success. So it was something within me that needed to change. And I have all the qualities that I need. I just need to step outside my comfort zone and start taking, the actions that are necessary to get to where I want to be. And Susan has been great and really pushed me to places, and Jenny Laurie and Rachel and Carrie and and Valeria. I mean, everybody plays such an important role. And I know that if I were to quit, I would have to explain to those people why I was quitting. And I just couldn't do that. So having those relationships are vital to not giving up. I swore I wasn't going to do this, but these relationships are just huge to me, and it has meant so much to my life. And meeting people face to face and taking those times to go to events. And I know Summit is hard, and sometimes we Quarterly Super Saturdays or Super Sundays are kind of hard, but if you can get to those and make those relationships, it will make all the difference, because they will absolutely pull you out of the trenches whenever you just want to give up. So if you don't have a success partner or you're struggling, reach out to whomever, and we can, somebody can help you find somebody that needs a success partner. And then find. So God will lead you to people who need this. I can attest to this over and over and over again. I mean, women who are going through the exact same thing that I am, children with ADHD, husbands who struggle with substance abuse, just so many different areas of my life that he puts them directly in my path that I probably would have never met had I not asked for him to put those people in my life. But just him opening those doors, just like the opportunities I was telling you earlier about serving, you have to take action. You can't just expect those relationships to evolve by you just sitting there. Just because you're friends with them on Facebook and they maybe see your post, which they're probably not, you have to cultivate those relationships. And you have to invite. I learned a very important lesson this last weekend about people want to be asked. You want to be included. The lesson that I learned was personal and it was family, but they want to be included. They want to be invited, and they most of the time will not come to you. Maybe after you've been doing this for a really long time, they will come back to you. But most of that, I just think back to when Jenny Laurie invited me, and she sent me an invite. And I don't know if she saw this post or not, but I had just posted a Dr. Pepper cake that I had baked. And I got that invite and I saw it in Messenger and I thought, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm a fat cow and she thinks I feed my family like crap and she's totally judging me. And I got out of that message and I never responded. And I was like, oh, she thinks I'm a horrible person because I make this cake for my family. That's ridiculous. She was probably not even thinking that at all. I don't even know if she saw the post. But it planted a seed and I started watching her. And then I saw her posting about Shakeology, and I wondered, what is this Shakeology business that I never really asked? And then I saw her posting about her kids drinking it and doing her workouts and how this business was making a difference in her life and in her family's life. And in the back of my mind, for probably a good year, I don't even know what the time frame was, but I was like, you know what? I think I could do this. But I started as a challenger because I had tried so many other things that were crap. I didn't want to drink a shake. I didn't want to do all of that. And so I didn't want to jump immediately into the business, but I kind of had it in the back of my mind. So just know that whenever you are asking and inviting, you're planting those seeds, and it may be a really long time. And, you can answer objections, but like Corey always says, you're not going to drag people. We're not in the business of convincing. Let them decide if this is right for them. And if it's not, don't burn the bridge. Don't close the door on these people. Like, even if they are coaches who quit. I think 3 people in Arete posted in the last week that they had a discount coach who quit like 2 years ago, and they've come back to them. And some people who are not on our team, who I know in Beachbody, are like, whenever such and such happened, they unfriended me, they blocked me. Don't be that person. Like, it is not personal. It's not about you. It's more about them and what's going on in their life. And if it is about you, like if you really know it's about you, make the decision to change, like whatever it is. If you weren't there for them or whatever, make the decision to change, but continue cultivating those relationships, because you never ever know when you are going to reap the benefit and the difference that you're going to make in their life. And commit to yourself to be there when they are ready. If you tell somebody, okay, I'll be here when you're ready, and then you quit in a month, like, you're not following through on your word. So you need to commit to yourself to be there when those people are ready, and to not give up, and to make sure that this is what is really going to get you where you want to be. Like, I don't have a plan B. So, I mean, I don't have any choice but to make this work. Like, I'm not going back into the workforce. It's just not feasible for our family. I do stuff on the side, but I can't commit to it 8 to 5. And I won't be able to commit for a really long time. So I have to make this work for our family, and I have to have an income. So, quitting is not an option. So, personal development. I mentioned the Bible app. There are devotional plans, and this is all free, guys. Like, this is amazing content. I search the Bible app on the App Store, and it'll come up. And these are the top devotionals that I have completed recently that really made a big impact on me. Worry, Finding Peace. I just finished that last week and I'm restarting it. And because it's just awesome. That's something that I struggle with. And Food is Not the Enemy. The Message of Leadership was amazingly awesome. I'm going to finish that. I'm going to do that after I finish the Worry one, because I am doing the Bible in 1 year. So I do that, and then I always have an additional devotional that I do. And then Biblical Secrets to a Happy Marriage. Even if you're not married, if you're in a relationship, if you're in close friendships with people, these principles apply. It really opened the door to where I was struggling and how I was contributing to my marriage. And you can't change other people, but you can change how you act. So that was really beneficial. And Character of a Great Leader. So also podcaster free. Whenever I was working full time and I was in the car 2.5 hours a day, I was listening to podcasts. And these are some of my favorites. There's tons out there, but Build Your Tribe by Chalene Johnson, more practical business side. The Chalene Show, she kind of helps. She gives practical tips for a lot of things in life, but she also has lately been talking about diet. It's a way to kind of educate yourself on nutrition. And also Inside Shakeology podcast. Those, they haven't added any new ones in a while, but just very helpful nuggets of information. And all the national wake-up calls are archived on there as well. You can usually go through and look by topic. I think it gives you a little blurb about what that show was about, or that call was about, and those are definitely very helpful as well. And and books. So The Best Yes, Jenny Laurie sent me The Best Yes probably a year and a half ago, and it sat on the bookshelf. And I didn't read it. And finally I was like, okay, I've got to start reading these books and get through these. And I finally read it, and I'm like, why did I wait so long to read this? So kind of helps you realize your priorities, and if you kind of tend to overcommit and that kind of stuff, really helps to kind of figure out what you want in your life and what God is calling you to do, and kind of let go of those things that are not beneficial. Like, I've been a Girl Scout leader for 5 years, and I've known for a while that I need to give it up, but I just am so connected to people and don't want to let them down that I've stayed doing it, and it was not bringing me joy, and I probably towards the end was not bringing them joy either, because I would get frustrated. And so finally the year's over and I step back, and I know that I'm making more room for my business, and so I can get involved in a ministry at church. I'm kind of being called in a few different areas, and I haven't made a decision on that yet. I'm still in the prayer and asking stage. I haven't decided yet. But the Motivation Manifesto was very beneficial to me in just kind of realizing this is up to me, and this is, I can sit here and live in indecision and fear and procrastination, or I can start taking steps to improve. And you learn by doing, and you may fall on your face the first couple times, but you can't just accumulate all this knowledge and then expect it to happen. You have to start taking action. And I'm in the middle of Get Over Your Damn Self. That's very practical for the business and learning kind of things, definitely if you're new to the business or just feel like you're in a rut. The Miracle Morning and also Chalene's Push Journal help to kind of establish a great morning routine and kind of figure out what your daily priorities are and what's important to you. So also along the lines of The Best Yes, but really setting that to-do list and figuring out what is most important in your day and spending your time wisely. And Love and Respect was also a huge one for marriage. It just really went into things that I really have not thought about and that I was not aware of. So that helped. I need to reread it. And Failing Forward helped also with the procrastination and the indecision. And also The Go-Giver, which is important because you want to give and you want to be a resource of love and more, just leave the world better than you found it, and not just always taking from people, but providing value back into their life. And the most important thing that I have realized in this business are relationships. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you're not reaching out and interacting with others, that knowledge is useless. And I'm a collector of knowledge. I like to learn, and I like to um, just really sink my teeth into things. But then sometimes it comes across as like I'm a know-it-all and they're a know-nothing, and that is very off-putting. So whatever knowledge you accumulate, you want to put into action, and you want to always do it in a loving way. Anytime you are like sharing that information, because people are like, oh, here she goes again, sharing all that crap she just read, like what is she gonna know next week? So the most important thing is we're called to love others, even when it's not fun or there's no immediate benefit. Even if you're not necessarily benefiting, you have no idea how that's going to improve their day or their life or make a difference. And if you just go out and love people and are opening your eyes to ways that you can make a difference, people will be attracted to you, and they will start following you, and they'll want to be a part of what you have going on. So, and I just kind of look at it the way that I look at as a Christian. Most of the people that I talk to are never going to step foot in my actual physical church. But does that mean that I'm not supposed to plant the seed and make disciples? Absolutely not. You never know how you're going to affect somebody's life, and you never know when they might come back to you. So just because you can't see that immediate benefit of selling a challenge pack or whatever, that you never know how that's going to come back to you. So if you kind of take that focus off of how can they benefit you and figure out what's in it for them. So that is it. We've got about 4 minutes left. If anybody has any questions or just anything they wanted to add, I'm definitely open to that. Take yourself off mute. I can stop sharing my screen.
I have a quick question. What do you think your number one thing was, like when because you've had some, significant ups and downs, which is why I really thought of you for this. Like, what do you think is the number one thing that helped pull you out when you were like at your lowest or feeling like this is never going to work? What do you think was your number one thing there?
Probably
a combination. It doesn't have to be one, but
yeah, no, I mean, probably just the relationship. So like you guys, I could reach out. For those of you who don't know, Red Hots, and then we have another group, The Fringe, and it's just a group of girls, coaches that we connect with. And then Susan, we text back and forth all day. I'm like, she's talked me down off some ledges. So, and just really sinking myself into God's word and just really figuring out my purpose in life and how Beachbody relates to that, correlates to that, and is an avenue, to pursuing that. And Susan asked me the other day, she said, do you have a burning desire and fire in your heart that that you will offer people what they need, and that you can help them to change their life? And that just like kicked me in the butt. I was just like, okay, like I need to have belief in myself and belief in the process and everything. So that was kind of, I would say the number one thing is the relationship, of having those accountability partners and success partners and friendships, and because you can start to feel isolated. So yeah, the Rachel the Bible app is, it's like all free. It's like there's plans and tons of devotionals from all kinds of different walks of life and, topics. And you can search important topics, like if you're, struggling with anger or anxiety or worry or, any of those things, it'll bring up plans related to that. Or, if that's not your thing, and everybody struggles. So if you enter your struggle, it'll give you like suggestions of what to do. Got about less than 2 minutes left. Anybody else?